Good evening, everybody. Happy early Halloween to everyone out in the internet world. It's 9-ish o'clock. It's Friday night. It must be time for the What's on Joe Mind TeamStream. Something like that.
Ooh. Who's that guy?
I'm Mike Irizarry. Joining me here in the top row tonight, as is the standard, former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe brand at Hasbro. It's the Hot Show, Mark Weber.
That's what I'm talking about. And to the one guy who booed us, my shoes cost more than your house. Classic Flair.
You're going full Ric Flair on us there.
Classic Flair. That's my favorite Flair line ever. Oh, and the one where he says, I have more cars than you have friends. Solid bird.
And joining us in the bottom row, as you can see, Joe Colton is on assignment, or Joe Colton is sporting strong beard game, either way. But no, joining us in the bottom row, it's from Fresh Monkey Fiction. It's their honcho. Bill Murphy is with us.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
And this is a return to after what, like 6 years?
It's been a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just straight audio, and it was a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
Wait.
Very different now, but I'm super excited about it.
That's right. We were for so long we made our bones doing sight gags on the radio until we realized that nobody wanted to hear those anymore. So we figured, now we got to go do sight gags on the television. Whatever. Stupid, sophisticated audience. Anyways, if you're joining us on YouTube tonight, welcome. There's certainly more of you this week than there was last week. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, by all means, go down there and click that button now. Give us a like, and be sure to spread us around to whatever your collecting circles may take you. If you're following us on Facebook tonight, go ahead and give us a reaction. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a heart. Give us a little huggy guy. We love little huggy guy. Just to let Facebook know that you're here, so we can help get the antenna signal going that way. The march to 1,000 subscribers took a big step this week. We want to keep that momentum going as much as we can. Again, thank you all. Whether you're joining us live or you're catching us later, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. So, we got a lot tonight. We have an awful lot. We booked Bill 2 weeks ago before Hasbro decided to throw some bonus virtual event on us last week. So we're going to get right to the news.
Dude.
All right. You give me. I lost my button. There we go. Get us back on there for this one. Okay, there we go.
It looks kind of dull, Mike. I'll be honest with you. Hey,
there
no, wait.
Go.
It's nude photos of me.
First news item. Hasbro's 10/27 reveals. As the dust settled on PulseCon 2021, Pulse Premium members received email messages advising them to look out for more details on another exclusive online event on October 27 called, now get this, 10/27. Named not after only the date, but the numbers in Hasbro's Pawtucket address. Most of Hasbro's major properties had even more product reveals, and G.I. Joe was no exception. This is, you can see here, the Cobra Officer was one of them. We also got another good look at the Alley Viper, and both of those were confirmed that they are on their way, and we all melted just a little bit more. The Cobra Officer is available for pre-order now at most major online retailers. Should be part of the case assortment with Spirit and Storm Shadow. And unfortunately, like the bat that they showed us at PulseCon, the Alley Viper isn't available for pre-order yet. And we'll take a look at him in just a second. But how about that Cobra Officer, Mark Weber?
I mean, I actually was more excited about this when I heard it at our own special 819 event back on August 19th, when we told everybody this was coming. Not to... I don't know
the victory lap continues.
We're baseball guys. I don't know if anybody's ever hit a home run and then touched home base and turned left, because it feels like we're taking a second lap here. But whatever. Yeah, you heard it here first, and disputed elsewhere second. But hate to say I told you so, but yeah, we told you so. But beyond that,
no, actually, we love to say we told you so.
Yeah,
we love that.
I mean, really, it's pretty rare when we say, "Hey, this is coming. Count on it." So it's nice to be validated.
Right.
We stuck our necks way out there, and a lot of people weren't real thrilled about it. But guess what? Dead on accurate so far. As far as the officer goes, he looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't be upset about this, I don't think, on any level. And my favorite part is, I don't know if you can say it's been subtle, but look at the weaponry, right?
Yeah.
When this line debuted, it was all sci-fi glowy stuff and gold shin guards, and there has been a very, what looks to be a very conscious pivot here. And this guy's sensational. And my favorite is no knife sticking handle up off the web gear. I hate that. Hate that. So
there are no blasters on this gentleman, that's for sure.
And no brutal chest cut, if you look at it, from the way they've got him tricked out. So yeah, very pleased with this guy.
Bill, you've been quiet. What do you think?
I love it. I was super excited to see it. I've been trying to figure out how much parts reuse they're using. I'm always interested in that. So,
you know, and the funny part of it is that they redid quite a bit for this. The helmet is new. The head is new. Supposedly the torso is new. Frankly, if for a Cobra officer, you know, hands raised if you'd have been happy if they just repainted the Cobra soldier with a silver logo and you'd be, hey, sure. It's an officer, great.
I'll take it.
Right, I'd have been fine.
But
no, they really done this guy up.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, we all knew it was coming, right? But didn't know what to expect. And I was expecting just pretty much a pure repaint, right? Like, you know, so I was happy to see some of the new additions to the figure and look forward to, well, I've already ordered like 4. So we'll see how many more I order along the way.
Awesome. Yeah, it's one of those where I keep trying to tell myself, yeah, I'll stop at 2. And then 2 will come and go, and we'll get to 3, and then 3 will come and go. We get to 4. I have not broken 4 yet.
Damn Army builders. They get you every time.
I was always, if I was Army building, unless I went nuts, which was rare, I just wanted 3. 3 is good for me. But that's where it gets tricky with this, right? If I have 3 troopers and 3 officers, does that mean they're assigning 1 officer for every trooper? It's like a knight and a squire, kind of. Like, that ratio doesn't seem like where you'd want it to be.
So it sounds like you need more Cobra troopers is what it sounds
looks like it. Or more Vipers target. Just saying.
Well, and now with all the third-party stuff you can get, you know, it's like, you know, I ordered an extra head, an extra this here from, and then, you know, they look a lot different. So I'm able to even take those 4 that I have and augment them from there. So
there you go.
Yeah.
And so that we'll roll into some pictures of the Alley Viper here. I got one in there with its bat friends, which will be available. We're hoping at some point summer next year. Not sure what the holdup with this is. I think these were originally scheduled to be released late this year, but something's going to keep them back. You know, whatever. Maybe it's just all the backup with the logistics lines and everything being stuck off the West Coast and what have you. But this guy looks pretty great too. Here too, it's like you said before, Mark. It seems like we've done a pivot and we've gone backwards to the more traditional weaponry and accessories as opposed to repurposed Nerf guns.
Yeah, and I wonder where because you know I don't have any inside baseball, but you know the basic plan for classified has changed 4 or 5 times along the way. Just because of the pandemic and the shipping concerns and the movement of the Snake Eyes movie, this guy's been on the packaging forever. Right. So I wonder if he was actually planned to be earlier in the line than we're actually getting him, which is kind of ironic because the marketing lead used to be a gal who came from Pampers, and this guy is the Diaper Viper. Check that out. I mean, he's got some serious depends going on right there.
He does. So he's a little baggy down there.
If he's lost if he's, you know, out in the field for like 24 hours with no relief, he doesn't need that kind of relief. He's well covered. So he's in it for the long haul. So good for you, Diaper Viper. But all kidding aside, I mean, it's about as authentic to the original as you could possibly ask for. And you could do that Bumblebee repaint down the road, right? No trouble at all. Or even I always liked the gray and red Alley Viper. I thought that was a cool look. So even though there's something special about standing out that much. It's one of my favorite panels of a Moon Knight comic was him just talking shop with another Avenger or something. It's like, so you fight at night exclusively. Yep. And you wear 100% white. Yep. You see the flaw in that? Nope, says Moon Knight. I want them to see me coming. And I'm like, okay, cool. Right. For a maniac, that's cool. And for a hard as nails Cobra Trooper, cool. So I never have a problem with the gaudy look of the Alley Viper. I think it spoke of confidence. So good for that.
Gonna answer a quick question from the crowd real fast here. Problem with going to real world guns? Of course not. No, not at all. No, I was not opposed to the Nerf guns if that's how they had to do things, but you're going to give me a choice. Yeah, real looking weapons all day, every day.
We want authentic blasters,
right?
Not guns. But people, and as much as we like, a gun that looks like a blaster that looks like an AK-47, because that's what we think an officer should be carrying. People forget that Joe was always cutting edge, right? It was always slightly futuristic. So it doesn't all have to be M16s and AK-47s and legit. It's nice to have the mix. Snake Eyes will always look great with an Uzi, right? But laser pistol here and there, laser rifle here and there, there's nothing wrong with that. But
I won't buy a Flash figure that doesn't have authentic U.S. military armaments,
right?
For his heavy infantry laser backpack, I won't.
The gigantic authentic laser he has to carry that is giving him a bad back at 26. But go get a Flash. That's why he wore out so quick. They had to bring in sci-fi.
Bill, how many of these you after, man?
I'm gonna get at least two, always two, any armor builder. Sometimes I'll go up to 4, but I'm just happy that the line is making a pivot, right? I think what they're doing right now is great. Super 7's obviously going with a little more animated style stuff, and I was like, oh, I kind of like those, but man, with the new pivot they're going with this stuff for classified, I'm all in. I think it's the right way to go on every level. The first wave, I was like, all right, I'll get it, but I didn't love it. So I repainted a lot and customized a lot. And now as these ones are coming out, I don't feel like I really have to touch them in that manner. I think they're doing a really great job. So I'm super excited.
Excellent. And that brings us to our next news item. Super 7 sneaking one in right before we went to air tonight.
Yeah.
Bastards, but I'm happy about it. They released this image on Twitter just a little bit ago. That's their address there if you want to go check it out for yourself. But they are going to be revealing Wave 2 of the G.I. Joe Ultimates line at some point next week. And as you can see in the picture there's Flint reading a newspaper about Cobra Commander, so pretty safe bet that they're both going to be involved. And frankly, if you're doing an Ultimates line, you're basing it on the Sunbow run of G.I. Joe. Yeah, Flint and Cobra Commander are two of the big ones.
Yeah.
If you pair that up with the information that the one Super 7 guy let slip on the Fooshcast last week, where he started talking about Baroness and Scarlet, that could be your Wave 2 right there. Which wouldn't be bad. I mean, again, I can't confirm those last two. I can't confirm this first two, but I'm thinking Flint's probably pretty good odds. I'll put that at 99%.
Yeah,
and then we can go down the odds from there. But I'm a lot more fired up for this than I was for Wave 1, just because I was always a Flint guy with the cartoon.
Yeah, and I like that they're staying true to Sunbow because it gives them a nice differentiation. If you look at this Flint and line him up next to the original Flint or even the classified Flint, And your colors are, I mean, the basic concept is the same, but the colors are wildly different. And even though I prefer a black shirted Flint, it's cool that they're doing something that's inherently different, especially because the scale is so similar to what's getting it classified. I wonder if they consider.
Ragtime Rob's giving me a correction there. Cobra Commander's already out. He's in wave 1.
I thought that
I'm kind of dumb.
That's fine, but I know I want to play the hits, but I wonder if they tried, and I don't know if they tried and were denied. I don't have any inside info here. But it would have been really interesting to see them do a guy that's not even on Classified's radar yet, right? Like maybe they wouldn't have given them Serpentor or a guy who's going to be a big hit down the road, but maybe they could have got Mindbender, right? Or maybe they could have got, I think that might be where the win was. And that's where I was excited about their bat, because they got it at least announced out there first. And the idea that the 7-inch scale might be just fine for a bat compared to Classified, because there's all sorts of collectors that are going to mix these guys together where it makes sense. But like if they did a Road Pig, because he's supposed to be basically Andre the Giant sized, at 7 inches, he'd fit right in with your Classified guys. So I wonder if they thought about that or even asked for that and got denied. But I think that might be, maybe not the whole thing, right? You can't do all B-level guys. But man, I think there's some win in there if they snuck in 1 or 2 that you haven't had a chance yet from Hasbro.
Yeah, I think if you look at like their other lines, Thundercats, Turtles, they're trying to do that. Like I think with like 1 per wave, you just kind of see the B level, right? Which I think is a good idea, right? It's like you kind of get that thing that you weren't expecting, and you got 3 other figures that are really the A level characters. So I hope they sneak that in as well. I'm with you. I'm hoping for Quinn somewhere in here, but anyway, we'll see. Or Billy, maybe Billy. I don't know.
Billy.
Oh, Billy, come on, man, Billy.
Look, it's my first name. I got to go with it. I'm sorry.
I like that they made him a ninja and no one cared, and then they made him a cyborg and no one cared.
My favorite character, guys. We're gonna have to debate another time.
And then they killed him. So now,
my favorite Joe character.
Now maybe he'll be back as a zombie cyborg ninja, and it'll be amazing.
Favorite Joe character.
Well, maybe it's I mean, if they made him Killer Cub Scout Billy, I'd be all in. I'm there for a Killer Cub Scout Billy.
Yeah, maybe at 7 inches tall, so he's like 12 years old, but bigger than everybody. All your Classified figures.
Right, he's like Shaquille O'Neal at 12 years old.
No love.
Super Assassin Boy Scout Billy. Comes with flowers. Comes with pistol and bouquet of flowers.
Goodness. But so that's it. Again, go check out Super 7 on Twitter if you want to see that image for yourself. Make sure you follow them. Make sure you're paying attention next week, because they'll be rolling out some great information. It's Flint, very likely. Baroness and Scarlet, kind of likely. And then mystery 4th figure. Who knows? Not Cobra Commander. He's already out.
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
That's not a news item.
Right? I mean, it's old news. But next news item. We're into the convention roundup already.
Yeah.
Next week is the time. We get past Halloween and we get to November 6th, Des Moines, Iowa, for Assembly Required. That is the 10th annual Iowa G.I. Joe Convention. Again, check out their website, codenameiowa.com. You can check out Assembly Required on Facebook. Get all the information necessary. If you haven't made your plans by now, man, I don't know what to tell you, but maybe not plenty of good seats still available, but probably a couple of bad ones. So if you got the time and you're in the neighborhood, get yourself out to Assembly Required on November 6th.
To check out the Robo Skull prototype.
Yeah, Robo Skull prototype will be there. Our buddy Ben Conway will be out there.
Yeah.
The next week, November 12th to 14th, Grand Rapids Comic Con. We told you last week. A G.I. Joe Real American Hero cast reunion of sorts. You got a little bit of the cast. That's a good 4 to get. Michael Bell, Morgan Lofting, Sergeant Slaughter, and Neil Ross. Former guests of the show, all except for the Sarge. And just again, they will be fun. That will be a good time. Having the 4 of those folks in one room all at the same time. That'll be neat. And that is in, again, Grand Rapids, Michigan. You can check out all the details there, grcomiccon.com. That is in 2 weekends. So starts 2 weeks from today.
That's the A-list right there.
Yeah.
No offense to friend of the show, Bill Ratner, and friend of mine, Arthur Burghardt.
There you go. Your close personal friend, Arthur Burghardt.
He calls once in a while, and it's always awesome. Like, I light up when the phone goes, Arthur Burghardt, California. And I'm like,
that is true. It is neat when he calls, because he's got that low voice of his, and it just kind of rumbles through the phone. And
I tell you, it doesn't matter what he says. Like, he didn't say this, but he could have said, I think Taco Bell is overrated, and it would sound amazing because he's Arthur Burghardt, right? I will talk stock futures with him. I will talk crypto investments. I don't care if it's Arthur Burghardt on the other line. I am in. Here's a dramatic reading of the script from Ishtar. Yes. Right. Yeah, let's go. I'll be Beatty. You be Hoffman. I'll be Beatty. Let's go. Like that. And I'm not, don't take this the wrong way. I mean exactly what I'm saying. He's the man. So, yeah.
He is. He is a lovely man too. He absolutely. Yeah. We've had the opportunity to speak with him now 3 or 4 times, and he's just as a group 3 or 4 times, and he's always been a delight. So he's coming up too. He's on a show in South Carolina, and I didn't get it on this one because we had so much else going on. I just found out about it a little bit ago, but he will be making an appearance on the convention rundown next week.
Excellent.
So we can find out where to find it. I think it's somewhere in South Carolina. I think Greenville, South Carolina. I forget what day. I don't forget what days though, so I don't want to go any further than that. And then, of course, bringing up the caboose, it's Roll On Roll Call, the UK Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Action Force show, with special guest Bob Brecken, with special guest Patty Lennon, another former guest of the program there, and author of that Action Force book, which people should be getting in their hands somewhere in the next month or so.
Me too.
Sunday, November 28th in Fordingbridge Town Hall, and that is in Fordingbridge in the UK. So if you are on the other side of the Atlantic, if you're on this side of the Atlantic and you can get there, go ahead. Go on.
It's worth it just to get a chance to meet Bob Brecken, right? Who is universally described as eternally bitter, right?
No, not at all. Bob Brecken is one of the most delightful people I have ever met in my entire life. That's all
I've heard ever about him is that he's just a ray of sunshine. So
he is a wonderful gentleman. I again, every once in a while, I'll get a messenger message from Bob. How you holding up over there, Mike? Well, Bob, things are crazy, but we're in there, right?
It just that photo just looks like there's a burning fury just barely submerged.
Clearly,
right?
It's just a 5'8" tower of rage.
Right, and November 28th, Mount St. Brecken is going to explode, and you can be there.
So, if we notice it's a big crowd tonight in the live stream. So thank you so much for showing up. If you're new to the channel, and a lot of you are, be sure to head down, give our video a like, give our channel a subscribe. If you're on Facebook, go ahead, give us some kind of reaction, give us the thumbs up, give us a hug. Huggy guy, we love Huggy Guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I just got 100 Huggy Guys, I'd be like, awesome.
If you like Joes, you're in the right place. If you like military, you're in the right place. If you like girls, come back next week.
Right? Yeah. Not quite the one. She's on assignment this week.
Yeah.
No pressure there, Bill.
Exactly.
I know. I totally missed. Like, why am I on this week?
I mean, maybe if you showed a little leg, Bill.
I could. You don't want to see that. That's not good for anyone.
No, we might bump the computer. We got everything just how we want it.
Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah, let's not spoil things.
Like Grandma Weber always said, "Skin to win, baby." That's what I'm talking about.
Grandma Weber was a worldly lass.
telling you, man, Esther got around.
Next news item.
Dude.
We're going to get an update on the Haslab Sky Striker campaign. 10,000 backers makes it a go. We are currently at 4,583. So just short of halfway home, and it's only been going for a week now. There's 39 days to go on this. I think it goes till December 7. So a long ways yet, and wow, that's a great start. Hopefully we can get up to 18, which would get all 3 of the bonus tiers unlocked and really make that $229 package really worth the money on that one. It just, I'm fired up for this one. Bill, me and Mark, we've talked about this all day. Bill, what's your thoughts on the Sky Striker?
I'm excited about it. I mean, obviously I love the scale, right? So I was super excited when they announced this thing. I'm glad they're revisiting the O-ring stuff. I think that's even more exciting for me. But yeah, I think it's great. I think they got some great stretch goals there. I hope they make it. I'm glad to see that folks are showing up, and there's still plenty of time to get in on it. So I think I'm hoping it's going to happen. They've had a lot of success with other stuff already, so I see a lot of success here as well.
Awesome.
There's a guy online, I don't even remember his name, but he was like, "Yeah, no, I won't back this. Maybe I'll back the next one." Well, be careful with that, right?
Won't be next one.
Yeah. So
won't be next one if you don't back this one.
I'm not telling anybody they have to like something they don't like, or they have to spend money they can't spend. But if this is something that you can afford, you might want to be on board here. Don't even have to open it. You can probably resell it for more money in a month.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, having purchased a few of the Haslab things, if history is any indication, the aftermarket on this stuff is pretty explosive, really. If you don't mind a huge box sitting in your garage for a beat, you can go and always resell it for probably, close to double. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen with this, but if history says anything, I'll just say, like, I sold my job as sell barge, and I'm sad that it's gone, but also I have a huge TV now. So really, I think it just depends on really what your needs are.
So Jabba hung something different on your wall.
So, my wife is happier. So that's good, right? Huge TV versus a giant sail barge that she was like, why is this in my house? So, yeah.
I sent one note along on this because it's always bothered me, because Aces was one of my favorite Joes originally, and has stayed up there in my top 5. But originally, the nameplate on the side of the cockpit said Captain J. Brad Armbruster. And his name is Brad J. Armbruster. That always bothered me. And now the sticker here on their digital render says Captain J. Armbruster, which is wrong in a completely different way. So I sent that along, and it's early enough that they should be able to fix that. I hope they do, because that's not a tough fix. And it would be fixing something that's been wrong for 38 years. So we'd love to see.
Question from the gallery.
We'll see if I got pulled.
Is it confirmed that it's a previously used Sky Striker mold? I'm no expert. I've heard conflicting opinions. It is a new Sky Striker mold. They went to, who is it that owns the rights to the F-14?
Northrop Grumman, right?
Yeah. They went to Grumman and got the rights to do a very specific F-14.
They are right down the street from my house. So I'll unlock on there too and confirm tomorrow.
Well, they made a Transformers Top Gun crossover that was a legit F-14. So that was their first part of a licensing agreement. So this might have been part of the same deal or an extension. But either way, yeah, it's legit. And there was another Yahoo online who was like, it's just the same Sky Striker mold. No. They showed us how the landing gear and the wings operate separately. So obviously the engineering is quite different. So if you don't like it, that's totally fine, and that's on you. But let's not be inaccurate in how we talk about this, right? There's a lot here. So I'm a fan, and I'm worried as a Joe collector that we finally got one that they put a lot of thought into. And if we're not cool with this, I think it'll be a long, long time before we see a second kick at this can. So
Are these missiles finally safe to swallow? Yes, they are. However, they are black licorice flavored, so it is not recommended.
No, that's good.
Not recommended.
Nobody will eat them. Gross.
No, it is anise flavored is black licorice, and
Ugh.
my response to that is, "Hey, you said anus wrong." But yeah,
Are the O-ring figures new?
I think we don't know that for sure. Although I don't.
yeah,
think...
they haven't really said. I know
Yeah.
Wayne Ruthel there is at least at the very least he is a recipe that they haven't used before.
Yeah.
So he's
And
new.
I don't. And Ace, the last time they did Ace, well, the O-ring Ace has been ages, right?
They look new to me. I mean, I don't know about the Storm Shadow and the Snake Eyes. Those look very close to the originals, but I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing this is all new stuff, and they're even if it's highly influenced by or copied from the original molds, it looks pretty close on some of those. Anyway,
When I was there, we were doing nothing O-ring, so I never asked, and I wasn't privy to any kind of tooling sheet that showed us what was still available. The way there was one for vehicles, what vehicle tooling still existed, and it break your heart to see how short that list is. But because they had pivoted fully away from O-ring, I can't imagine it was kept in high priority to hang on to those molds.
yeah.
And this is 97, I think, the last time we saw this Ace. So it might be totally brand new.
So, and that brings us up to our friends at Skeletron with the Robo Skull Mark II. I love that artwork. I just got to look at that for a second.
I hope they get some cool illustrations to help out.
Right.
Because I don't know if they're going to get funded.
Right. No, they funded after an hour and a half. 899 backers as of about an hour ago. $383,707 when the pledge goal was $78,000. So I believe they're about 500% funded. Awesome. Just building towards stretch goal number 10 on that one. So if you have any interest in the Robo Skull, head on over to Kickstarter, type Robo Skull in the search, and this bad boy will pop up. It'll give you the lowdown. Pledge with confidence.
Mm-hmm. I get the feeling stretch goal number like 25 is going to be the Robo neck, and then the Robo shoulders, and like these guys, just ridiculous. So
what is the next one? What is the next one that's up? The stretch goal that's up. I'll have to go look. Do you know?
Oh, I think it's like 6-inch figure.
Is it that the
pieces?
The heads and armor or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surveillance port, Bill. It's going to look real sharp with Bill's Eagle Force figures.
There you go.
Agreed.
Yes. Stretch goal number 50, the Robo Cod piece. It's going to be great. All the diaper vipers are lining up for it.
And then the one after that is Patty and Brian are going to write the book. So we're closing on a couple of good ones.
As long as it has pictures. I like my books with pictures.
I would hope so.
If they don't pop up, there'll be pictures.
So if Brian's taking photos, man, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
And then let's see what else we got here. We got Robo Skull, and then that brings us to. Well, it brings us to what? Come on. Oh, that brings us to these guys, and
now we're talking.
We'll get to more of them in just a second. If you folks just hang on, we're going to give 30 seconds to our wonderful sponsors at Kokomo Toys, and then we will commence with our official Bill Murphy Fresh Monkey Fiction interview. So stick with us.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
Not today, Kokomo. I took him out, baby. You're not getting me with that lightsaber.
Lightsaber Sound got Mark good last week, Bill.
Man!
Jumped out of his chair.
Wow.
Like a like a cat on caffeine. So, Bill, it's been a while.
It's been a beat. Yeah, last time we talked, we were just doing the original Kickstarter many moons ago before disaster struck.
Yeah.
And then now we've recovered from that and are actually making things again. So, yes, I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, I mean, you guys really it's something of a comeback story, and I don't want to dismiss the concerns of the folks who waited a long time, but the fact that, I mean, you guys hung in there and you took a beating in the court of public opinion, but you stayed true to the message and you got product out there, and I think it says a lot for you guys and the mission that you're on.
Yeah, I mean, it was not fun. But we got through it, and I mean, again, I could have easily walked away, and was very committed to getting these toys made, and very committed more towards the backers than anything else. These people put money towards something, and it had to get done through hell or high water. So Craig and I, who helped me on the wave, kind of got through it. We ended up with a great factory now, who also does work with the Four Horsemen and other stuff, and a great project manager. So, it's helped set us up for success with all this new stuff. So it's super exciting. But it was, it was not great, but I tried to be transparent with everyone and stay with updates and do as much as I can. And, the same thing happened with, Jason's Animorphs, the Kingdom line. They were in the same boat as we were. They kind of recovered from that too, So I think it's like, a lot of lessons learned. You think you're as prepared as you're going to be, and then you kind of go through it. And I'm just very thankful that the fan base stuck with us through most of it, which was super exciting, and are now still with us today as we're relaunching, launching the 40th anniversary, I guess I should say, now, and bringing back some of the stuff that was asked from the original Kickstarter that we didn't get to, or didn't emphasize, I guess I should say. And so now we're bringing that stuff back with this new event.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to gingerly touch the screen to bring your presentation up and hopefully not break it.
I will try to not break it on my end. I'm not going to guarantee anything at all.
I'm not responsible.
I'm out. I'm just going to sit right here. I'm not touching anything.
You're going to walk away from the computer altogether.
It's fair.
So rather than dwell on the past, Bill, we're going to ask you to bring us into the future with the 40th anniversary.
All right. And I'm always happy to dive into questions from the past, but I'm glad to dive into current today. Eagle Force jumping in.
Do your thing. We'll take some questions from the crowd later.
Here you go. All right. So we kicked off this event a few weeks ago, and let me give you a little rundown on it. We were going to do Kickstarter. We love Kickstarter. I love Kickstarter. Was happy to go back to Kickstarter. We were ready, set to go, and then Big Bad Toy Store came in and said, "Hey, we love Eagle Force. We want to continue to support it. What do you think if we help get the line made without going to Kickstarter?" I was like, okay, there's some really great advantages here. There's a few things downside. Kickstarter helps a little bit with some stuff, but we were like, hey, this is great if we can get Big Bad to come in. So they came in, and we decided to pivot and launch the anniversary line on Big Bad Toy Store exclusively. So that was great. We started out with 2 waves, and then they really loved the sales what they were seeing, and they wanted to go ahead and commit to a third. So now we got all these characters that are readily available right now that you can go pre-order now. So that was super exciting. The nice thing about Big Bad is that from a customer standpoint is like, with Kickstarter, we didn't know if we were going to get there, right? You never know with Kickstarter. Are you going to fund or you're not? This allowed us to get out of the gate with, at least 12 figures. We knew we were going to get in people's hands. So that was exciting. We didn't have to worry about, hey, is it going to fund? Is it not? And then we were able to add 6 more, which was also great. From a business end, it's great to have a partner in Big Bad Toy Store. They're well known. Touching lightly on some of the troubles that we've had in the past, we kind of needed that other influence to help kind of sell people on the legitimacy of everything. So I was glad to have them as partners. They help us with fulfillment. The other side of it too is outside of some deposits that you'll charge for more sets, they really don't charge you ahead of time. They charge you when the product ships. So that's great, especially now in a world where we've got a bunch of stuff going on with Skeletron Kickstarters, other Kickstarters happening, product that's up for pre-order from other companies that they need to charge ahead of time for. So we were lucky to be able to have a good partner that said, hey, look, we'll go ahead and fit the bill for these 3 waves because we believe in the product, we believe in the customer base, and we're super excited about it. So that's a little bit of the rundown of where we've been the last few weeks.
Excellent. So you got three waves, you got 6 figures apiece. Why don't you take us through the lineup here, Bill?
Yeah, so real quick, we've got, the first wave's got Captain Eagle in his more classic appearance. This is what we did a gold Captain Eagle in the original line, but, as I think many of you know, the returns line is more of a modernization of Eagle Force. I've worked hard to build out the story and the mythology there, and in the current Eagle Force, Captain Eagle is obviously older. He's in his 70s, even though we did a gold outfit. So what we wanted to do here, we wanted to bring back some of the characters in their original 80s looks, in the past looks. We got, a lot of people who were like, hey, I love gold, and I want gold. And so we're like, okay, we listened, right? And now we're at the opportunity now, after getting through some of our hurdles, that we can go ahead and launch this 40th anniversary line, focusing on that. So we've got Captain Eagle there, and we're touching on not only the classics line, but other teams in Eagle Force that we've since built out. One of those is Eagle Force Mega, so they've got Maverick there. And then on the classic side, you also have Nemesis and the Riot Shock Trooper and Sergeant Brown. And then we bring in some Monster Force stuff here, which, tips its hat to maybe some other lines that we know about. We're also helping to army build. So we also wanted to include extra heads for folks if they wanted to army build stuff. Monster Force is stuff that we kind of put out there originally when we thought we were going to be able to do more stuff after the original Kickstarter, but because of those factory hurdles, we just couldn't get to. So now we're bringing that back. Out of all the stuff that we heard, it was like, hey, I want gold and I want Monster Force. And I also want like more return stuff. And now I want everything. So now we're trying to bring a little bit of everything to the table here, with the emphasis on at least these first 3 waves, the classic look. So that's wave 1. Wave 2, we've got again more Monster Force stuff there, and again, tipping our hat to some of the other lines that are out there that we thought would be kind of neat, while also giving you some variations in terms of appearance and heads that you can rebuild with there. General Mamba's here. We couldn't have classics line without the classic villain General Mamba, so he's here as well. Harley's making his appearance. Ivan, who was an original Wave 2 character that didn't get to, we're doing sort of Ivan 2, which is the modern day version of Ivan. So that leaves us open to do the classics version of Ivan as well. Striker here as well. We did in the returns version Striker Jr., which is his son. So again, we're building out this mythology here in this world, and that's something that fans have really liked us doing. It's something that, being a huge fan of G.I. Joe and what Larry did with the line, really influenced a lot of what we're doing here, and trying to really build out these different worlds and these different characters. Trying to make it so that, if you love gold, we got stuff for you. If you love Monster Force, we got stuff for you. If you like just more modern military stuff, that's in there for you as well. So we're really trying to capture as many answers as we can to continue to support the line. So everything's lifted. If we get some support from over here and get some support from over here, the whole line is lifted, which allows us to kind of do more as we continue, right? So that led to the third wave, where Big Bad Toy Store is like, hey, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and commit. So we committed to this, which is got, again, some Ninja Force stuff in here for Eagle Force, Ninja Force, which is our assassin characters and the 13 Ghosts, which are Savitar's henchmen. Savitar is here in a suit, not his traditional ninja garb, but more in a modern day suit. And you get the returns portrait as well as the classics portrait there. You got Baron Von Chill, who has a classics portrait as well as a modern day portrait. So again, depending on how you want to display your characters, you got some options there. You've got Faces with a couple of different portraits here, and you know, General Rourke if you want to use them as the Eagle Force Classics General. You've got Red Wing here, a classic character from the line, and you've got sort of the cat. So again, we're trying to round it out with different characters and our different teams that we've started to build out. You know, with between Ninja Force, we've got things coming up for Freedom Force, Action, a lot of forces. But all hitting on sort of different areas of interest, whether that's closer to monsters or modern day or classics or, you know, more sci-fi or superhero spends or something in there for kind of everybody as we build out the mythology of the world. On that note, now we have our own wiki. So you can go to, you know, Eagle Force Declassified. It's linked off our website. And there's bios there, all sorts of stuff where you can read about the characters and the different teams. And as you can see here in this illustration, there's all sorts of teams there that are all kind of coming together. So it's a good resource for you to understand like what toys are out there, which ones have been made, who are these characters, what do they do. I remember, you know, when I was a kid, we had those handbooks, those physical handbooks we'd get from Marvel handbooks, those kind of things. We didn't have the internet. So we had to really like live and breathe those things. Well, now with the internet, I wanted to provide a way for fans to dive in and see, you know, and read up about certain characters. So we're adding to that like every week and building out bios and characters there so you can go and find out, hey, this design looks cool. Who is this character? What team are they a part of? And where do they operate? So that's what the Declassified website is hopefully going to help out with.
That's great.
Yeah. I'll keep going here if you want me to.
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. All right. So
I got things to say, but I'm waiting.
Okay, good. Well, yeah. Okay. Just cut me off as I could keep just throwing things out because I got a whole.
No. We want to hear it all, man.
I got a whole deck. I got a whole deck of stuff.
We want it all.
So initially, what we did when we launched, we had the typical stretch goals, and we were looking at like, okay, how are sales numbers, and how can we kind of unlock some of this stuff? And Big Bad, being the partner that they were like, hey, we saw some strengths here, so let's go ahead and unlock a full wave, which we did for 3. And so now what we're doing is, okay, we're gonna pivot a little bit. This is kind of an experiment, this non-Kickstarter experiment, which to me is a lot of fun. I like to like try new things, see what works, what doesn't. It's the same way with the line where I'll listen to feedback from folks and try to get that into the line if we can, as opposed to like, hey, here's your product. Don't you love it? I like to kind of throw things out and go, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Do you like it? Do you hate it? So with the street we have now, what's going to happen next week where we're going to actually put some new figures up for pre-order, but they are going to be, we're going to have a meter that's going to go on our website here that kind of looks something like this, where it said we have to hit this goal on this figure to actually make it. So you can go in and you can put in your pre-order. Again, Big Bad is not going to charge you until that thing ships. So you can go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to commit to this figure here. We need to get so many figures pre-ordered to actually make the figure. So this is an illustration of what's on the website right now, which just says, hey, on the site we have this many pre-ordered. Right now it's 0 because we haven't posted these yet until next week, but we got to get to 500. So each of them will be separate. Big Bad Toy Store will feed me numbers every couple of days, and I'll update these meters along the way over the course of the next month. So we have like 30 days to see how many of these we can hit based on that pre-order number. Once we hit them, then they're unlocked, they're ready to go. You can keep your order in. If we don't get there, we will just cancel that pre-order for that figure. You obviously have not been charged, so no harm, no foul there. We're just not ready to make it at this time. That's not to say we might not be able to make that figure in the future. So don't if we don't make it, don't be like, oh, I'll never get this figure. It's more like, hey, this is maybe not the right timing for it. Maybe next year we'll try it again and maybe make it a part of an assortment. If we can, what I'm going to try to do is factor in some of that tooling now, even if I can't produce the figures. So at least I have some of that in the bank. So we can do that later if we don't make it now. So there's strategies at play here. Like I want to get these figures made like as much as possible. Like I spent a lot of work designing these figures, prepping them. I want them out there as much as anyone else. So this is a good way of doing that. And it allows us to gauge really where the interest is. We get a lot of comments around like, I want gold. And I do too. Trust me, I love it. But is that going to show up in terms of the actual sales numbers? And that's the crazy thing about the internet. As much as I love it, sometimes people talk a lot, and you hear a lot, and then it turns around like, everybody wanted this, and now no one's buying it. So And that's also a little bit of why I love the Kickstarter model, because you put it out there, you try to get the people to come in, and if they're there, and it's a huge success, and that's great. If not, it's just not the right time for it, and that's okay, right? It doesn't mean that's the end. A lot of Kickstarters relaunch. We've done that a few times where the first Kickstarter wasn't successful around some of these other products that we offer, like Amazing Heroes. So we tried again, maybe a year later. We built up the audience more at that point, and then it's ready to go. So again, this is not the end if we don't get here. It's just maybe just not right now. So I just want everybody to know that too. People are like, oh my gosh, what happens if we don't make this, right? Okay, well, it doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. I mean, the figure's designed, it's out there. It just means that maybe this isn't the right moment in time. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna Big Bad's gonna put these on next week. There's a caveat on there. It says, hey, this is based on pre-order sales over the next month. We got a countdown window on the website right now that's starting to count down. So there's a little bit of a call to action here if you kind of want this stuff. And you just got to sign up and put your pre-order in. And again, you're not going to be committed to pay for anything until after it ships. But again, we want people to kind of, please don't game the system. I will say that too, be committed here. Obviously things happen along the way. We all understand that, but don't just put in orders just to put in orders. Put in orders if you're committed to see it happening, because this is how the line grows. We don't move. We're not in Hasbro. We're not in Mattel. We're not in retail. This is a line that I'm very passionate about. Obviously, the fans are very passionate about. We want to see it continue. I want to see it continue to grow. You guys are kind enough to have us on to talk about it. I love coming in to talk about it. And it's something that I want to continue to see happen. I'm putting in a lot of effort and energy toward it because I'm passionate about it and I love it. And I love talking to the fans and I love the community. I love what we're building here. We're building a world, which is really amazing. And I want to really see it happen. So, this is sort of a good way to showcase what we want to do and see how much folks want to come up and where they want to go in terms of the line and what characters are interesting to them. So I've got a few slides here. We can talk about what's up in this next section for the stretch goals.
Absolutely. Can we consider these what's on Joe Mine exclusive reveals?
Ooh.
Sure, absolutely. This is the first time I'm really talking about them. We posted some stuff online today, and luckily we had this set up to talk about it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be on the show. I got to have something to talk about. Well, this might as well be it.
There we go.
Outstanding.
Yeah,
love it.
So.
Breaking sports news again.
Yeah. So some of these figures we've showed along the way. Some of them are just brand new today. And again, it's the 40th anniversary, so it's going to touch on classics. It's going to touch on some of these other lines that we brought into the universe over the last year or so. KO here is a good example of a character that we've done a modern version of and want to get back to the classic look. So that's him there. We've got Wild Bill, which is different from the classic look. We are doing the classic look with Chicken Fried Toys as well. They've showed some versions of that, so they're going to produce that figure for us. But we did want to do kind of a modern version, and I mean not a modern version, a different version in the classic appearance where in the mythology, Wild Bill goes into space. He goes into space, and he gets lost in space. Wild Bill gets lost in space. But that's his space outfit. And what happens in the current continuity is he ends up back in the current Returns continuity. So we're going to do a version of Returns as well with Wild Bill. And we're going to have a line where he's got some space adventures. What's going on? He's up there in space. He's got some adventures. So it's very Flash Gordon-like. So you'll see like stuff happen out of Eagle Force Space Force, which is really our kind of line that's going to like focus more on fantasy Flash Gordon type of stuff. So we've got some stuff designed there. And so Wild Bill will go to space, have some space adventures, and come back. So this is him in his sort of space outfit with his bubble helmet. The cowboy hat comes off. You can't put the helmet on with the hat. I know I wanted to do it. It just would have been too big. So you'll have to take his hat off to put his helmet on. I'm sure Wild Bill.
That was my one question. That was my one question.
Yeah. Yep. So just didn't work out that way. But still will look cool with his. He'll still have his hat and his bandana that he can wear in his space adventures when he's not out in the atmosphere. So that's Wild Bill. I'm super excited about Wild Bill. Also because my name is Bill. And as a theme that we've had on the show today, characters out there with names of Bill or Billy are very important to me. So Wild Bill is also very important to me as well.
He could be wild, Hector, and I wouldn't care because he's a space cowboy commando.
He's a space cowboy. Who doesn't want a space cowboy? Everybody wants a space cowboy, right?
We're covering a lot of bases there.
Right. So then we have El Toro, who was kind of helped us get redesigned by Joe Amaro from OR Toys. This is a really fun character. Again, going back to a character that was designed as in the original Wave 2 of the original line that never got produced. Joe, lended his, vision to kind of help this happen. And, I think it's going to be really fun. We decided to include his sombrero there, which I think is also pretty fun. But definitely taking a more serious take on the character. But we're excited to bring in a lot of some of these characters that were never done in the original line in Wave 2. We did that in the Returns wave. We brought in some characters like Santini, who were never actually done in the original wave. So we wanted to also bring in some characters that were, designed by Paul Kirshner and Bill Barron, but were never actually materialized. So this is one of our characters that is going to be materialized here. There's a mistake there with the Ninja Force thing. Disregard that. He's not on Ninja Force. He's on Classics. I was through these slides together real quick before the thing, so I'll have to rectify that. So I'm going to jump over that so you don't see that.
Bill, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm getting that, and I'm folding that sombrero one side up, and that's Undercover Recondo.
I love it.
Dude.
I love it. I think that's an excellent idea.
So good. And El Toro, of course, is Spanish for the Toro.
Right. Yes. The Toro.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah. So Tiger here is another example of a character that was designed for Wave 2 of the original line that never got made. So we wanted to bring him into the line. He's got his tiger stripes, so to speak, as well. He's a nice fighter. He's going to come with some knives. So we're excited about that. And again, a few of these characters include these army builder heads. So again, if you want to build out some army stuff with these, you've got extra heads you can bring in here and build out with that. There's also some gear packs and weapons packs that we have on the already that you can get on Big Bad Toy Store as well in pre-order, so you can start building out your armies there. Who do we got next? Big Bro, the character from the original line. Wanted to bring him back in here. He's got his medical bag. He's a combat medic with a shotgun. So it's really exciting that he's here to help, once everybody gets hurt in battle, Big Bro is here to help them out. And then let's see, we got Zapr, our electronics whiz, here with his little electronics device. So he's going to be there as well. A lot of folks really wanted Zapr. We did a modern version of Zapr for Returns as well. So you have your classic look here or your current modern look, which we still have figures available, by the way. I have to plug, ZycaToys.com does have a lot of our original Eagle Force Return lines figures in stock. We're sold out of a few, and we're looking to do some re-releases next year. But if you're looking to get some Eagle Force figures now, they're available at Zyca's website. So please go there and grab those. Shameless plug there. And then we get into Monster Force a little bit. Got a little bit of Monster Force. Declan Von Helsing here, again, modern day character in our Monster Force line. Super excited here. He comes with a crossbow, although in this image you can't see it because it's tilted to the side, but it actually is a little mini crossbow that he has there as well. Super excited to bring him into the line in our Monster Force figures, and then he fights the Forgotten King. So that's another figure people were asking for a while. So we wanted to bring the Forgotten King in here. And we build out more of our.
What's up with that head of his?
He's got an Egyptian head, so he's he's a forgotten Egyptian pharaoh, and he got resurrected and by someone putting on that helmet. So now he's taken over that helmet and he can raise the dead. So we got some zombie stuff going in there. So again, like we're fleshing out that world, and that's what we're using that wiki for. Is like, hey, what's going on with that Forgotten King character? Who's he? He looks kind of cool. Go over there, check it out, read a little bio. You can read all about him. So we've got all that there to help help establish some of these characters and who they are. Also, I like the white suit.
That is pretty.
I like the white suit. When you're talking about Moon Knight earlier, they did a modern version of Moon Knight that went in a white suit, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. We should do a white suit.
Dude,
now you got a white suit.
This guy eats pasta in that suit, and he does not care.
That's right. He just. I don't care. I'm just gonna go.
Dude, I like it. I'm digging it.
So anyway, so that's Forgotten King there. Then we got the Gorgils, who's our aquatic trooper. So we're excited about this as well. It's it was a character that got brought in through the mythology that Chris Irving is writing. He's doing a bunch of Eagle Force pulp stories. Has been doing them for a few years on Kickstarter. That he's actually done a compilation book right now of all the stories that he's got on his website, which is the Drawn Word. You should check those out. They're a lot of fun. He's exploring a lot of the characters. He really has done a lot with the cat character and brought him in. So we got this is an army builder figure that we're bringing in, which I think is really fun. Again, tipping the hat to some other lines that are out there. We're taking some influence from some things that are out there in the world and kind of bringing them into the line, which has been a lot of fun. And people have been resonating with it. People like it. Like, oh, I like this. It's got a little bit of what I like here, and it's got this new thing to it. Hey, let's bring it in and let's try to make it happen. So then the last part of Monsters Force here is we have our Invisible Man character. He'll have some clear arms. A lot of these characters have interchangeable hands. People are like, I don't need all these hands. Right? What do I got all these hands for? I don't know. I like it. I think it's fun as you're posing a character. You can add on different hands. And we've got them tooled. So why don't we just give them to you, right? Like, you might as well make them a part of the line, right? Like right. People who want to do different poses and stuff. So this hand is my favorite. It's my favorite hand. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but I love it. But yeah, we've got our Invisible Man character there.
It's the mandible claw.
No, it's the Kirby, right? How many Kirby covers did you see of a guy going on?
It's just like that. It is. I think it is. It's a good. We'll call it the Kirby. I love it.
Kirby.
I love it. So that, and then his goggles do come off. They will be separate as well. And then getting back to Eagle Force Returns, we're doing a Harley as part of the 40th anniversary that Big Bad is say we're going to commit to. This will be, again, a stretch goal, but it's a modern version of Harley for those folks who really want the more modern versions. Again, the audience is interesting. It's very split. Like, gold. I want gold. Give me the gold. And then you got people who are like, not so much. But I really love the modern stuff. So we're mixing it up here. So if you want a modern version of Harley, here he is. He's aged up a little bit, probably in his 70s, but he's still kicking ass. So that's our modern version of Harley. And you got Red Wing 2, which is the new generation of Red Ring there. So that's our updated version of him, again, in the Returns line that you're seeing there. So we're excited to kind of bring in him. We showed him way back when, and we tried to bring him in the original Kickstarter as a stretch goal and didn't quite make him there. So wanted to bring him back here and see if we can kind of get to him. The list keeps on coming, man. There's so much stuff. General Brown, again, part of the Returns line. We did a version of General Brown, modern General Brown in his modern fatigues in the original in Returns. This is him in his general outfit. It's also a version of him in classics as well. So it depends, again, where you're going, right? Do you want modern? You want classics? This is all for you. It's all out there. So we've got General Brown here. Decided to bring him in. I think we need more generals. I need more generals in my collection. So this is another one of those to bring in. And then this is one of my favorite characters, Frank Walsh. So he's part of our Ninja Force line. He's the all-American soldier on the run. So if you look at Ninja Force, it's got ninjas, it's got all sorts of different mystical stuff brought in there. So we wanted to bring him in. On his t-shirt is an image of the Claw, which was a Golden Age villain in the comic books way back when, public domain villain. So we did that. That's kind of a little bit of a tip to a hat to our Amazing Heroes line that we do. We have a retro line called Amazing Heroes that has the Claw on it. So I wanted to put that on his tank top there. So I thought that was really cool. Similar, homages to different things you might be familiar with. Are coming through the line. This is one of the ones I'm really excited about here. Blockhead. Thought he was really fun. He's our infantry shoulder. He's getting out there. He's gonna, stumble a few times, I think, but he'll make it through. He will, I promise. He'll make it through. He just goes on. He's just, got a heart of gold, and he'll make it through. Got his dog there.
Good soldier, terrible pitcher.
Right,
Terrible
right,
picture.
right. So he'll keep going though. He's never relentless, right? He's just going to keep at it, no matter what obstacles he hits. He'll keep going. So he's going to be kind of fun. Got a couple different hats there with some bird logos on them. So he's going to be fun. All right, then we get to the Bruno brothers. Super exciting there. There are a couple of assassin brothers that we've got in here. We've got Tony and Louis Bruno. They're out there. They're not quite working for Riot, but they're kind of independent hitman out there as well, taking care of business, as it were. I think that's the end. I've reached the end. There we go. So all of these are going up next week. They'll all have. I'll go back to a few here. We'll keep going back. It's just the hits are just coming all the way through here. We'll go back to the meter. We'll be updating this next week for the next month, and we'll see if we can get to those 500 goals in the next month, so we can actually move these figures forward and get them into the next production wave. We've got, we'll probably end up having a few of these, if not hopefully all of them, fun. So we'll have like 4 different waves for the 40th. They won't all come in at once. They'll go through the production pipeline in spurts. So you don't have to worry about them all landing. We'll get one wave out there, and then maybe the next couple of months, we'll get another wave in as we go. Some of these figures are going to need some more extra tooling, so we got to get that done. So they're probably a year away from starting to land for the most part. But the real goal here is the next month is like, hey, we've got these designed. They're out there. If you want them, put in an order, and hopefully we can get a bunch of other people to do the same, and we'll get to those numbers. The good thing is, if I look at what numbers are tracking for, the stuff we've previously put out there as part of the 40th, a lot of those are getting to those numbers anyway, even now, even after the first couple of weeks. So that's exciting that, we have a lot of opportunity here. So I don't think these numbers are crazy in terms of what we're seeing for the current stuff. It's just a question of, what's your thing? If it's everything, great, fantastic. If it's Monster Force is your thing, great, jump in. If Ninja Force is your thing, jump in, and we'll see how far we get over the next month.
So real quick, a question from the gallery. Please ask Bill if he forgot to announce Malibu, which means I think you probably forgot to announce Malibu.
Yeah, Malibu. He's out there. He might come in. We'll see. Got a lot here. I know Ed really wants the Malibu figure, really a lot. I think a lot of it too, is that how much, as you can see with Eagle Force, because we're an independent line, we got to really focus on some parts reuse here, and do it in a manner that is not like completely overt of like, how do we kind of disguise it with paint ops and other things? And so how much tooling can we actually put into the line right now? Some of these characters require just a new head or a weapon. Some require web gear, other parts. So it really depends on, what we think we can get in, how much reuse we can get out of it later, because that does influence how we can get to other characters. Again, if we decide, if we don't add Malibu now, it doesn't mean he's not off the table. It just means maybe it's a later thing, depending on how these figures go over the next month.
Our friend Diana is dying to see the Bulldog again with Blockhead.
Oh, let's go to that and see. Let's see if I can not screw that up. She
wants to know how much articulation on that Bulldog.
No, not any. It's the same Bulldog that came with Sergeant Bulldog. He's just painted a little different. He's. I think he's going to be a great companion for our Blockhead figure.
Yeah, that's great. I'm digging that.
So yeah.
So a question from Chewy P 1976. Where's Leon?
Who's Leon?
I don't know.
He's the professional.
Oh, the professional. Ah, well, I think we should maybe. I don't know. We can get him in for sure.
Not a bad call. I'm a huge, legitimately, like there's a lot here that's great. But my favorites are any versions of the General, right? General Brown or Faces. Like this has not been done well by anybody up till this point. So, official General in a good-looking uniform, that's all win. right?
Yeah, we're really going to try to get this thing. You know, we're going to do some. I will say too, we're going to do some modifications on some of these parts. Nothing drastic, but really try to tighten things up. You know, again, most of this was done for the Kickstarter, so we were unsure how far we were going to get. So we did enough that we could say, hey, this is a pretty good representation of the character. But before we get into tooling, we're going to make some subtle tweaks. Nothing crazy. Like, you know, you're going to get the same figure, but you might see some extra detail that you're not seeing in here today.
Just don't add that brutal chest cut right there, right?
No,
Because this guy's brilliant. And can you imagine that big thumbnail chest cut right there? Break my heart.
yeah, I just, you know, it's tough, right? I love the articulation, but I also like, you know, I want the figures to look nice on the shelf, right?
Yeah.
So there's some downsides, you know, certainly, but again, it depends on how you want to display it and the whole thing. And I think it'll look nice.
I think it looks great. And the one that I would use outside of Eagle Force is Maverick from the first slide. He's got Megaforce written all over him.
Oh yeah, he's got
these not words.
He comes with where is he? There's he. He comes with some extra heads there. You can build some your Megaforce, your Eagle Force Mega Army here with them, and yeah. So there's a lot happening.
Got to tell Godso about that one. I bet you he'll be
so
up for that one.
Flying motorcycle, great.
Nothing gets old Gary going like some Barry Bostwick.
Oh,
man,
in a gold jumpsuit.
My brother and I walked out of that theater at like, I don't know, 9 and 12 years old. And we walked out of it going, man, that sucked.
Oh.
Even at 9,
it was
we knew it was awful.
It was horribly great.
Yeah, it has aged well, actually. For the steaming turd that it was.
It really is a great piece of art.
Yeah.
But you know, I got to say, it had some good, marketing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The comic book ads and everything else. I was ready to go, man. I remember when I went to see the theater. I was ready to go. Yeah. I was like, this is gonna be great.
They knew their audience.
We were ready to come out and make our Christmas list full of Megaforce toys.
Yeah.
And instead, we walked out like, man, kind of sucked, right? Yeah. Same way we
did a watch along of that.
Oops, sorry.
I'm sorry. We did a watch along of that movie as a special edition a few years back.
So good.
Oh.
It was the same way I walked out of the original Dune, which I think I was a little too young for, because they gave me a list of terms on the way in, like printed out. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't care what a Harkonnen is.
Right. Just read all this before you go see the movie. You'll be fine.
Right. You get homework for a movie.
Right.
They gave you a list of terms to take into a dark theater.
Right. Like, just memorize this, and the movie will be great. As long as you know all of this going in.
Yeah, this doesn't sound fun. None of the other movies have homework, but okay.
Yeah.
But I am separately huge fan of all the separate, not just hands, but heads. I think the heads is a brilliant idea, and it makes if it isn't, it gives you basically 2 chances to pitch to 2 different fan bases, right? In a lot of ways.
Yeah, absolutely, and
I think that's brilliant, outstanding work.
Yeah, I want as much. Look, the reality is, army builders are great. People like them. I mean, if I look at sales numbers, it's like that's the highest stuff, and people can say, hey, I'm going to buy two or three here. We just talked about it today, earlier with classified, right? So like, do the same thing here, and I appreciate again everybody saying like, hey, you know what, I'm going to buy a couple of these, and I can display them different ways. I can put a few different heads on and create some armies, and that's the exciting thing here. So that's even with some of the characters that. Like Sergeant Brown's a good example, right? Where like you can take that character and you can make him into an army builder as well, right? And so I think that's something we want to bring to it. Not every character's got army builder heads, but a lot of them do. And I think that, the customization is key, and that's the exciting part.
I think it's great. And I don't want to say arrogance, but there's a little bit of arrogance when you put out a figure that is only one guy and can only be displayed one way, and only, no extra hands, one head, one accessory. Pose this guy out because this is who he is and this is what he should do. Yep. Instead, to enable people to be a little more creative with it, just gives you the chance for somebody to try it 3 different ways, or for 3 different fan bases to be in on the same figure. I think that's really, really
Is
fun.
this some residual angst from when you worked for McFarlane?
Never know. I don't have any McFarlane angst. I loved working at McFarlane. They were good to me. I can't say that about every place, Mike. Don't burn that bridge for me. I'm good there.
Ed Hellman has a question. So many great sub-teams and spin-offs here. Was there a sub-team that you considered but ultimately scrapped and won't return to?
I don't think there's anything that I won't return to. I mean, I think we've got, there's the one thing we've kind of teased at that haven't showed yet is our Freedom Force line, which is it's more of a modern day kind of take on public domain superheroes. Because again, other line I produce, this Amazing Heroes line, is all about public domain heroes. So we got some designs there that bring sort of those characters in with more of a modern military kind of feel. So I would say it's more of like a MCU type of spin on characters in terms of the way they look. And so we're going to be bringing those in, but not quite yet. But no, I mean, I think there's, between Space Force and again, your cowboy space soldier and your Ninja Force stuff, which is kind of, a tip to the hat to, Big Trouble in Little China, that whole line that we're building. It's a little bit of that. I love that movie. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff to play in. Monster Force is, diving into different, supernatural types of stuff and different werewolves and vampires and those kind of things. And so, there's a little bit for everybody here. I think there's a little bit for the classics, like you said, with that, or you can get their modern looks too. If you look at, like Savitar, he's got his Returns head, which is the older portrait, but he's got his younger head there as well, if you want to display that way too. And, he's got these different hands because the modern version has a glove hand because of some damage to his hand, whereas the young one doesn't. So again, you can display that around. He's got a pet koala because you just have to make a koala figure. Yeah. So it's so that's there. So, there's stuff like that I think is, kind of fun little things in there with the extra heads too. Like, again, with the Savitar figure, he includes just sort of the standard head with glasses, so you could make a Secret Service agent or something like that as well if Savitar isn't your thing. And then your Secret Service agent can have a koala. So, whatever is your bag, right? You got everything you need there.
Dude, Savitar versus Blockhead, more importantly, is koala versus bulldog.
I like it, right? I think that's right. So
it sounds like celebrity deathmatch,
Oh, I love look in the Joe line. I love the little animal characters that came with all the lines. I thought that was so great. Again, like we've got a new version of Talon, which is Captain Eagle. The original one sits on his arm. This one comes with a clear peg you put in his back so he can fly over him. So, it's like there's stuff like that I, again, a lot of these things are influenced by the stuff I grew up with, and we all grew up with, and it's and I'm kind of trying to bring that back into this line, while also again taking fan feedback. That to me is the most important. The line has changed a lot based on comments and interactions with fans, and I'm glad to do that. Like I think that's one of the great things that we can say, hey, we can make this tweak or add this or change that. And I'm not going to say I'm going to do it for everything, but it's good. It's good that folks feel like they can say, hey, I want to give you some feedback here, and I think you might listen, because I think we don't get that with a lot of the larger, companies. And look, I love that stuff. Like we talked about classified, I'm down. Like I love that stuff, but and I think they did listen a little bit in terms of how they pivoted the line as we discussed. So that's great, and so we're hoping we can do that here. And as we hear some notes and feedback, it's encouraging too to say, hey, I love this. Great, we were not completely off the mark there. So that stuff's great as well.
I love how angry Kilowog looks, given that I think he's a werewolf in a long sleeve turtleneck.
Yes, you'd be angry too.
Dude, that would cheese me off like crazy, right?
You're warm.
Here's your outfit. But here's your uniform.
How good is that uniform that it's keeping him contained?
That's a good point.
That's worth every penny. They paid a lot, but it's worth every penny.
Some quality embroidery right there. Absolutely.
Justin Mohan asks, is this all coming out next year, or will it spill into 2023?
I think it'll spill into 2023 if we hit our goals for this stuff for sure. Like I said, I think we'll start hopefully shipping some stuff around the end, and it'll spill into 2023 for sure. you know, a lot of this stuff is some new tooling, not everything. A lot of this is tooling that we existed already, that we've tweaked and made some changes to from even the returns line that we have right now. But we got to tool some stuff, and that takes, you know, that takes time. It takes, yeah, I would love to say it takes a few months, but sometimes it takes like 6 months or so to get this in, especially when you're doing lines like this, that you've got to tool new parts for existing stuff. Make sure the fit function works. Make sure the head is not too big. Make sure this is that. The other thing that takes a little longer than say like, hey, I'm just going to do one new figure here. That it doesn't have to work with this other set of 4 or 5 tools that I've got sitting over here. So that takes a little time too. So we want to make sure that, and luckily, you know, the new factory we're working with can do it. The original factory didn't, and so the returns line that we got through with the Kickstarter, you know, has some flaws that, you know, we have now subsequently fixed. The paint apps are going to be way better already. You know, we partnered up with Amazo Toys to do their Space Force line. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. They did a line of Space Force that took the Eagle Force bodies and did like presidential heads and stuff. They wanted to use our tooling, so Chris wanted to use the tooling, so I said that's great, and we're going to actually do the distribution for them as well. That stuff will work obviously with all the parts we have here, and I've got some samples here. Actually, I've got them in front of me right here. Actually,
we're breaking news again, Mike.
I don't know if you can see them. I'm going to do a stream on those.
Yeah, let me get you front and center here.
Yeah, so I've got those here.
We want it.
I don't know, you might be able to see with all the glare, but I've got those in front of me here. Those came out really nice. Like they're really, really nice. Like the articulation's great. The paint ops are great. Way better at this factory than the original, you know, the original factory we had to use. So those are really good. Yeah, I got those here. Those are fun. I don't know if anybody cares, but we'll do a stream of those here shortly. Just got these the other day, and this is the fun part too. They come with, I don't know, these little like head packs. Again, I don't know. I might be able to see them there, but they look really nice. You can't really tell, but the paint detail is really nice on some of these.
That looks like Garfield and Taft, I think.
Yeah, we got here's my favorite. This has got Uncle Sam in it, and the zombie, and I think, and again, depending on where you want to go politically, you got your Trump, you got your Obama. No. I don't know.
That was Strom Thurmond. I'm pretty sure.
And then we got a clear Ronald Reagan in there. That's fun.
Oh, nice.
And a monkey head, and you got
not just
Trump
the
there.
Gipper, but the Gipper's ghost.
Then you got
Gipper.
Yeah, so you got those are really fun, and they kind of slide into the bottom of the thing here, so you can kind of have it here. So they came out really nice. They really, the new factory took our molds that we got from the not so great factory, made some changes. The paint ops are great as well, and so I'm really excited to get those out to folks. When we get those, they're on the boat now, coming. So we're going to do the distribution for Amazo. So hopefully those will land. I mean, there's some shipping challenges that I think everybody knows about with ports into LA. So they're taking a little longer to get here, but hopefully they'll get here in December and we can start shipping those. Cause they got a couple of loose ones here too. I don't know. We got, again, I don't know if we can see that, but it came out really good. I think crisp, clean, they got the packs here. Hold on. We got the bubble helmet somewhere around here. It's all dark in my office now.
I'm beating the dead horse here, but they look so good without that damn torso articulation that I hate. So good.
Yeah, so they're really, they came out really great. The paint app's good. The detail work, like the tampos are on this side here, look really good.
That's really sharp. Yep.
Yeah, so I don't have a helmet in front of me. I just had it the other day. Oh wait, maybe it's over here. Hold on. Oh yeah, and here we got this one here. Again, the tampos came out really great. The details, they reworked some of the weapons, so the detail is better. So they look really nice. This new factory is doing just an amazing job in my view. Oh my gosh, I got so much minefield of parts over here. But yeah, you know what? You want to see how the helmet works? Do you care?
Go for it.
All right. Hold on. I think this is really fun. I'm going to pull out one of these helmets here. So we got the clear helmet. Comes apart like this, and the camera's this way, 2 pieces. And then this is our, figure here. I'm going to have to assemble it off to the side because I don't have anything to rest it on, but you kind of snap the helmet back together. Oh my gosh, it's so dark in here now. And you can
don't break it.
And you know it goes on the helmet, snaps on the helmet. So then you've got your figure with your space helmet on there, which I think looks really nice. It's a lot of fun. It kind of clips in there, and yeah. So these are parts that we'll use for some of the characters that we showed tonight as well. So I'm super excited. Like I think the new factory's doing just a bang up job. Our factory manager Chris is really helping us out, and I'm excited to get those things in hand. And what that means for some of the new stuff, I think, is also going to be great.
We had a little asked and answered over in the comments a while back that said, "Why do the Gorgils need helmets?" And immediately someone said, "So they can breathe on land, dude."
That's it.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So they can breathe on land. So that way they can fight battles on land.
Question here from Walter McLeod. I know it was touched on, but a lot of fans have asked about Goldie and the Goldie Hawks. Do we have a time frame being looked at to bring the ladies in? And for folks who are brand new to Eagle Force, Bill, why don't you give some background on Goldie?
Yeah, so Goldie was the only female that actually got made for the original line. And
back in 1982, you're talking.
Yeah, in 81, 82. And then when we launched the Returns line, we had some Goldie Hawks, which was, again, some of this generational concept in there. We had these triplets. They're one of our stretch goals. Didn't quite get there. We want to get to Goldie. It's just the challenge, again, is it's a lot to sculpt and tool a whole new body. I think what we'd like to do, depending on, again, how sales go with this, is maybe try to do some kind of Kickstarter pre-order for some female figures that would consist of Goldie and Goldie Hawks and some other ones, and see if we can kind of get that funded. I think that would be the hope, that we're going to try to do that. And you probably won't see that until, maybe a year from now or so. But, we're committed to wanting. It's not for a lack of not wanting to. We want to do it. It's just, it's hard to do with the limited, resources that we have right now. But again, we're hoping as we get more fans in for the line and grow the fan base, that we can, get to that stuff quicker than we can right now.
All right. Looking through the comments to see if we have another actual.
I want to see a Goldie Hawk with the Pork Chop Express.
I love it.
Works on some.
I love it.
Right? Yeah.
I love it. I mean, maybe we'll do female force.
Now we're talking.
I don't know, and just get a whole line of really awesome, kick-ass women. I love it. I'd love to do it. Yeah. And so, we've got a lot of, this latest stuff is stuff that's been designed for a bit, and we're just like, all right, let's throw it out there and see how many we can get to. And I'm excited to see, starting next week, what has the sales come in over the next month, how many we think we can unlock to continue to bring into the next production cycle.
I like if somebody doesn't know anything about Eagle Force and they get a good look at Captain Eagle, and the idea that this guy has a bird of prey, is missing an eye, and still keeps the bird of prey around.
Right.
Like, I mean, dude.
This guy's bionicle arm.
Yeah. I'm not saying the bird took the first eye, but he's trusting it not to take the second one.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, you only got one left, right? Like.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I mean, push comes to shove, Talon's got some negotiating power.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
So, Mark, you have some final thoughts here?
I mean, I dig the whole thing. I like that it's how true it is to the original brand. I love the retro looks with the modern looks. I think the multiple hands is great, but the multiple heads is what will bring you. Will turn a guy who thought he didn't need Eagle Force into a guy that's buying 4 or 5, right? So I just think I think that's brilliant. They look great, and the general figures are the ones that really sold me. I like the difference is good. In the Mama's got some boots and the other two don't. But I like the kind of classic general look that I saw on Faces and General Brown, and those are pure win for me. I'm totally down. And I love that you're partnered with Big Bad Toy Store, because that's where I've gotten 90% of my toys for the last decade.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about them on every level. They've been great partners, and they really are supportive of the line, and they're supportive of all the indie stuff right now. Like when I talk to them, they really want to throw as much support towards that community as possible, not just us, but everybody that's doing some of the, the indie stuff, including like, Chicken Fried Toys, if they're interested, and, Animal Wars, The Kingdom and stuff. Like they really want to try to support that. They support a lot of Kickstarters to kind of help them get over the finish line, which I think is great. They really do support that community. And I, so that in turn, I'm trying to support them as a business as well, not just through this, but, if I'm going to guess where I'm ordering my classifieds from, right? There may be a little more there. But, again, I want to support them as a business because I think they're doing the right thing. And I'm able to throw a couple extra dollars toward a figure knowing it's going to Big Bad Toy Store. To me is, something that I want to do because, again, I think they're great for the community. They're great with customer service. They figured out a great shipping system, account management system. They've got a lot of great stuff that a lot of these other online distributors don't have. So I really want to throw them my business, not just for the Eagle Force stuff, but beyond.
Yeah, and I'm exactly the same way. I know I'm paying a couple extra bucks on classified figures from them, but you know what? With my pile of loot, I can get 3 shipments a year. I can have something to sit there for 4 months. And never once have they told me, I'm sorry, we gave away your pre-order thing. Right? Never canceled a pre-order on me. Never had anything damaged come in the mail from them. They are absolutely top shelf. And I've had the ability to work with them, professionally through McFarlane Toys and through Hasbro, and then also personally, because they are fantastic. So they always get my top shelf recommendation.
Yep. So I'm happy to be working with them, and they're super responsive. And they were into kind of trying to figure this out too. Like that's the thing too. I was like, hey, what do you guys think? I threw some ideas at the wall. They came out, they said, hey, want to do it? And they were like, yeah, let's give it a shot. And I'm like, that's great. Like again, you're not going to see that, I don't think, from some of these other online folks. So I think that, again, they've just been great partners, and I'm super happy to partner with them, and happy to make these things exclusive to them. And look, it doesn't mean that we might not, if we got the opportunity to go to big box retail at some point with the line or a subset of the line, maybe we can do that, and they'd be open to doing that as well. So it's like, right now it's like that, this is our home with them, and I'm excited that we get to partnership.
Bill, any last thoughts here, or where can, say you're just showing up now, where does somebody go to find all of your information about Eagle Force and its related stuff?
Go to freshmonkeyfiction.com. That's the best thing to do. You can go there. You can get links to our social there. We have a page set up for the 40th anniversary where you can see the figures that are available with links to Big Bad Toy Store. You can see images of the figures we showcased tonight that'll be available hopefully next week. I think probably midweek they're going to start to post them. And of course we'll hit social when those are up. And that way, like, you can kind of track the line. The 40th page on Fresh Monkeys will be updating our counter, so to speak. So as I said, we'll have this, we'll have this counter up like this for all the figures, and I'll be getting pre-sales numbers from them every couple of days, and I'll go in there and manually up that thing. And we got our countdown timer there, so you can see how long we got until we can see if we greenlight some of these things. So I'm excited about it. Big Bad's excited about it. The fans tonight and today when we showcase some of the stuff seem to be really into it. So I'm glad that we're putting out there things that people are excited about. Not too many people are complaining, and I've used that as a good thing. So that's exciting.
Awesome. So get out to freshmonkeyfiction.com, get to Big Bad Toy Store, support this. We've asked you to throw a lot of money around this month. I know. Mm-hmm. My God, my wallet is bruised, but I'm going to do my best to get out. I mean, some of these figures are just outstanding. Just it's great work, and whether you're a Joe collector whether you're a Marauder collector, whether if you do boss fight, anything 4 inches, these figures are right in step with all of those. Just superior quality and just worth your time and your money and your effort. So
you might say they're the gold standard.
Hey,
I
love it.
Oh, you everybody shows up for the puns and they stay for the reveals.
For the dad
I don't think anybody shows up for the puns.
They put up with me to get all the new info.
I love it.
And whether you like it or never.
So anyways, we will move into our next segment, which is, of course, what we got in. So, Mark Weber, what'd you get in this week?
I only got one thing in. I need to dig this out. Downstairs somewhere in the abyss that is the Weber basement, I have an old full-size WWE ring. I used to have it set up at McFarlane Toys at my desk. And only very few figures made it in the ring, right? I didn't just collect willy-nilly. It was like, you had to be a guy I really dug as a performer. And I haven't bought, other than I think a Miss Elizabeth figure to go with the Savage, who's obviously in the ring. So over the years, I've bought a whole bunch. And I'm a huge fan of how WWE does their 6-inch figures. Look at this. I'm getting creeped on. There's the lovely Elizabeth right there. But I love that they have their $20 line, which is more articulated than the Elite one with all the stuff. But they also have that core $10 line, right? Which doesn't have that brutal chest cut, which looks awful on a bare chest, right? So anyway, the newest guy to add, because this is one of my favorite wrestlers, and they had him at $9.99. I got old Finn Balor this week. I'm a big Balor fan. I think he's fantastic. And luckily, I'm an opener because I got this. I think I got this from Amazon, and you see the nice crease at the top there. They literally folded this down to fit it in the box. So, boo on you, Amazon, but I'm an opener. It's fine.
At least there was something in the box.
Yeah, well, that's true. So, join the Balor Club. There she goes, the lovely Elizabeth. Happened so fast you can't even talk about it. No.
Right.
That's it. That's all I got in. Me and Finn Balor.
All right. Bill Murphy, what'd you get in this week?
Well, I kind of showcased the Space Force stuff I got in. I will say, I got my Stalker.
There you go.
And I was like, I saw the pictures. Like, man, this is pretty great.
Yeah, he is.
Like it really, I was like, man, this thing is really, really nice. And I was like, I was worried. What are they going to do here? Are they going to do some new tooling? What are they going to do? Are they going to just kind of rehash the same stuff? And they did a great job on that. And I'm really excited about that line. I don't know where it's going to continue now. They didn't really announce anything the last couple of times. So I'm like, I don't know, is it dead? But maybe they'll just keep it at Walmart. But that's what I got in. That's what I got in this week.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they go a little bit further with it, just because that standard body that they gave Stalker and Grunt would go really well with the mortar and the bazooka that they put together with the Cobra troops. We're ahead in that 2-shoulder harness away from having a great zap and a great short fuse, which we really didn't get in the 4-inch G.I. Joe line. It would be real easy just to finish that one up and just get that done. And so I'm hoping the retro line's not totally dead.
There was a zap that came in that Cobra Island 7-packs. Pretty damn.
It was
good.
Okay. It was all right. Good.
But the short fuse is garbage.
Yeah, that's a disgrace.
That was what I wanted to fix when I was there. I just ran out of time.
Yeah, Zap was okay. He was a little skinny, and the head they used they just kind of threw the mustache on there. So like if they could do a real Zap head, that would go a long way with me. And this body's a little bit brawnier than the one that they gave him the first time around, so I think that would work better too.
Yeah,
but I mean, short fuse, God, anything would be an improvement there.
Yes.
But I mean, man, I'm just hoping I'm hoping that one more wave at Joe's, and I would have no other desires that were just that pressing out of that line. I can move on into back to O-rings and,
Right.
and not have any what ifs in my brain.
And me being Mr. Anti-Chest Cut, I was always dying to get a new Flash out with a secondary vest,
Sure.
right? Like, oh, it'd be so good.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it would. I mean, from where they are right now, I'm not sure that's going to happen. I mean, especially if it's gone, I mean, if they're winding that line down, and again, we don't know. We don't know.
That. Yeah.
So maybe they're not, but again, the fact that, like Bill said, they haven't shown anything since Walmart had their event back over the summer. We haven't seen hide nor hair of anything new with the retro line.
Has there been any rumors or rumblings?
Not really. No.
Usually some of this stuff kind of just comes out. I've always like, oh, we might see this or that. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, there's these guys that have this online show where they break a whole bunch of stuff and they don't say anything.
Right. I would think they would have said something.
Right. I mean, on that kind of info.
Right.
We did once. Our first news break of this year was the retro stuff. We told everybody that Stalker and Grunt and the Cobra Officer were coming.
Right.
We sat right here.
Haven't heard anything since.
Yeah.
We sat right here and said, they are bringing Grunt to you soon from the Cobra, from the retro line.
Right. That one kind of went under the radar. We still haven't really gotten credit for that one. We took our victory lap. Victory lap, so I'm not going to go back and take another victory lap for that.
Screw that. We're hitting home plate. We're turning left, baby.
Look, man, there's more figures on that list that haven't been announced yet, so we have more victory laps coming.
I'm just saying, if you turn left twice, you can turn a solo shot into a 3-run homer, baby.
Just keep going.
That's it.
I mean, really, would the official scorer know what to do if somebody just didn't stop running?
I think it'd be awesome. I'd love to see some big leaguer do the first grade thing where you crack the ball and run the third. Like, if I were a big leaguer, I would do that sometime in a blowout. Like, I would get my lead off first, and I would just take off for third. Right? I would just buzz the pitcher on the way over, and I would slide and get a big old grass stain right down the front.
But then that one dude from Oakland would yell at you, and that'd be the end of that.
Yeah, I'll spray
all the unwritten rules.
Tag me out on the way.
Trip you down. As far as what I got, everybody saw. If you're plugged into us on Instagram and on Facebook, everybody saw what I got. I got 86 Beachhead number 27. So I'm amassing quite the little crew. They're not all out on display. I've only got the last 5 or 6 of them out, and even that's starting to be cumbersome. So I got to find a new spot for him.
Rapid fire, Mike. Did he come with a backpack?
He did.
Did he come with an ammo pack?
Yes.
Did he come with a blaster?
No, he came with a submachine gun.
Fair enough. Did he come with his nuts?
He did.
Okay, good. Nuts intact.
Right in there. And he's a really nice one too. The paint's great on him and the joints are tight. And, like he may as well have just come out of the package. Like he is that good, number 27. So
those are the only ones that have the nuts intact. Are the fresh?
No, I've got some really crummy looking ones that do. There's a couple in my collection that are pretty beat up, but
I'm telling you, Mike,
waist piece is whole.
In 20 years, you're not going to be selling off figures. You're going to be selling beachhead waists.
Yeah,
$300 a piece. It's going to be amazing.
I'm sure. This is an investment.
Business. So good.
That's paying for my funeral.
That's it, right?
In 7 or 8 years. Right. Anyways, I got something else in transit. We'll see it next week. But let's move ahead into shout-outs. Bill, you're our guest. Why don't you go first in shout-outs? Give some props to the folks who have gone the extra mile for you.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I got to call out Ed, who's on the stream here. He certainly has helped me out, myself to, he's helped me out with my live streams that I'm doing. So I'm new to this world. You guys are now, it's old hat for you all, but for me, I'm starting to do some stuff, and he's been kind of helping me out and giving me some encouragement there. So I gotta always shout him out.
Good job, Ed. I don't know if we're old hat at it, but my God, we get plenty of practice.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's been a long year. Who else you got, Bill?
Let's see. A few folks on the chat too, Walter and stuff, have been helping promote the line. So I think that's my big shout is to everybody who's been like sharing the stuff and getting it out there. I mean, it's as much as I'm trying to get stuff out there, it wouldn't be getting out there if not for a lot of the folks that are helping to get the word out. So that's a big shout out to everybody there who really is like coming on board for this thing to really kind of spread the word around the line.
Excellent. We'll be the first to agree with that one, man. We could sit here and shout into the void all we want, but if we didn't have people that cared about the product we were putting out, it wouldn't go very far. So I know we owe a lot of our success, particularly in the last few months, to the folks who sing our praises and post us and like our videos and subscribe. And speaking of which, if you haven't done that yet, go ahead do that now. Leave a comment. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. If you're on Facebook, go ahead, give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy. We love little huggy guy. Let's beat the metrics. Let's keep the what's on Joe mind train rolling, so we can help folks like Bill out and get their projects done and just sing the praises of G.I. Joe and all its related collectibles, and we can conquer the toy aisle once again. But Mark Weber, who we shouting out to?
Yeah, let's give a shout out to the BCA middle school soccer team. Wrapped up their season yesterday with a big 4-2 win over the St. Andrews Saints. Like,
that's lame.
Come on, right?
That's lame.
Nothing wrong with being the Saints, but the St. Andrews Saints?
I mean, why aren't you just the St. Andrews at that point?
Yeah, exactly, right? So anyway, we punished them for their unoriginal nickname. With a big 4-2 win that wrapped up middle school soccer season. So we appreciated that. Also want to give a shout out to my former Hasbro running mate, Bobby Gala, because his Action Force line has shipped and is on the water right now. And I know he waited a long time for that to actually get seaborne.
Yes.
So good for Bobby and for all the Action Force fans out there. It is on the water, on its way. So congratulations.
Yeah, my apologies. That came over this afternoon. I did not have the opportunity to get that in the news. So thank you for doing that, Mark.
Yeah, because Bobby's good peeps and an old friend. And when I say thanks to Team Action Force, it's kind of a one-man show over there, and that's all credit to Bobby. So well done, and congrats on your sea voyage. May it be safe, because a lot of stuff can happen on the water.
Right.
But yeah, to the middle school soccer team, to our friend Bobby Dalla, and to the St. Andrews Saints for taking that beating that we dispensed. A little frontier 4-2 justice out here. So pretty happy about that one.
4-2.
It's middle school. I don't care too much about wins and losses, right? But you kind of want to end with a win. So
yeah, you want to go out with it.
We didn't have a season last year, and the year before we had a win, but then we ended the season with 3 straight rainouts that didn't get rescheduled. So it was just a real fizzle at the end, right? So yeah, and at the end of the season, because everybody hated that little league pizza party you had at the end of the year, where they got like 2 cold Dominoes and one was pepperoni, but the other one sucked. And you could only get like 1 piece, and everyone hated that. So I take the kids over to a frozen yogurt shop, just like 5 miles away. I give them like a medium cup and just say go nuts, and it's the best. And so when we posted the end of the girls' season, we put it up on Facebook and said our last road trip of the season, we defeated Orange Leaf Frozen Yogurt 15-1. Because we dominated that place, baby. So
that's beating it down.
Yeah, we'll be back with the guys' team in a week. And the dude in there, right? I walk in with 15 middle school girls, and he's like, "You could have called ahead." And I'm like, "And you would have called in like 3 or 4 more people to help?" Kind of doubt it, man. If you want me to take my 15 paying customers out of here at 3:00 in the afternoon, I will, yogurt guy.
Right.
Pump the hot fudge. Dude,
I think that's a valid place. Like, you can call him Skippy at that point.
Yeah,
you're allowed.
Trust me, man. I'll be back with the boys' team, and they won't be so well behaved.
No.
So this is just round 1, brother.
That'll be the large cup too. because
Wow.
those dudes are in growth spurt. So
Dude, they can put it down. So we have to be a little careful with that. But it's like grandparent training for me, right? I take these kids, I fill them full of sugar, and then I give them back to their parents.
that's right.
Perfect. So that's it. That's all I got.
Pump that fudge, Skippy.
Pump that fudge, Skippy.
I'm going to give a shout out to Ragtime Rob, the unsung fourth man and the true hero of the What's on Joe Mind team. Give a shout out to Joe Colton, who is on assignment this week. She got called away last minute, so she sends her apologies as to not being able to join us tonight. But she got a real job. Like it's tough sometimes, and
Yeah.
so we give Joe Colton a lot of grief when she's not here. But when Joe Colton is not here, it's usually because something has hit the fan.
Yeah.
And she's got to go deal with that. So keeping the world safe for democracy, our own Joe Colton. Give a shout out to our wonderful sponsor, Kokomo Toys. We will sing the theme song one more time. Kokomo Toys.
Kokomo Toys.
Kokomo Toys.
Kokomo Toys.
There we go. Ragtime Rob pumping out shirt ideas. Pump the hot fudge Skippy needs to be our next shirt. You know what? It may be. If not plug the damn show,
right?
Then pump the hot fudge Skippy could be it.
You could have called ahead. Yeah, I could have. But I'm wrangling 15 middle school girls at once here, so
you want to shout out to
you want to switch? I can scoop gummy bears.
I'm going to give a shout out to Barrington's frozen yogurt palace.
Yeah.
Because man, apparently they need it.
Orange leaf.
Orange leaf yogurt. There we go.
Orange leaf. Yeah.
Shout out. Give a shout out to our fans. Big attendance in the live stream tonight. We thank you so much. Something like 83 at its peak. I don't think we've done 83 before. So we figure they're here to see Hasbro 1027, and they're here to see Bill. Can't promise we'll have that every week, but man, thanks for showing up. Hope you come back. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, make sure you like our video, subscribe to our channel. We're here every Friday, and we've got some bonus content every so often. We've got a mail call that'll be coming out soon, probably Monday, Tuesday next week. So be sure to tune in for that as Mark and I sit down with Carson from 3D Joe's to do some deep diving on a letter that a fan sent to us a little bit ago. Want to give a shout out to Gorgills. We need to make sure that happens. Gorgills is a big deal. Any descendant of the Kraken is a friend of ours here at What's on Joe Mind. Biff McHonky-Donk is complaining in the live chat. We didn't get these numbers when I was on this. We know, Biff. That's why you haven't been back.
Oh my God,
that's not true. That's not true.
He's always at Disneyland. We call. I'm at Disneyland.
Right?
Call back later.
I'm at Disneyland. Sorry.
I'm riding Big Thunder Mountain.
Give a shout out to Biff McHonky-Donk because I'm calling him out on the show.
You bet. Look, we made him sniffle.
Sorry, Phil. Sorry.
Look what you did.
I know, right? It's gonna make him cry. I don't want to do that to Phil. Phil is our emergency host. Like when we have just something that comes up extreme last minute.
Yeah.
Like so last minute that even Ragtime Rob can't do it. It's like, Phil, I need a third. Are you in? He's like, give me 5 minutes.
All we did, we just shined the Mickey Mouse sign up in the sky.
Right.
And he shows up. Da-da-da. Fantastic.
Let's get the heck out of here, gentlemen. We're in the babbling point. So, folks, if you remember, still in the dying stage of a pandemic. Let's hope. So if you're not vaccinated, please go get yourself taken care of. If you're going to be out in a crowd, wear a mask. Be safe. As our listener They Gone says quite often, be safe. If you can't, be careful, which is great advice, especially. There he is. There it is. He got it in there because my man knows when he's got a hot one. Mm-hmm. Stay safe. If you can't, keep careful. Best advice I've heard in probably a year and a half. But for my guest host, Bill Monkey of Fresh Monkey Fiction, Bill the Fresh Monkey of Fresh Monkey Fiction.
Bill Monkey?
Oh man,
it's late. It's late for you guys.
I worked all day today, and now he showed up to do this. He's
No,
Bill Monkey.
I thought you said, I just said Bill Mulkey of Mulkey Brothers fame.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I did. You could be entirely on. You have to help me with that. There's a replay later. I'll watch the replay. I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
but for now, sure.
To be clear, Mulkey-mania is still running wild.
But the Fresh Monkey of Fresh Monkey Fiction, Bill Murphy, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on again. It's been great. Really appreciate it. Again, nice chat to visit, not only about, again, just Eagle Force stuff, which I thank you guys about, but just even to talk toys and all sorts of things. So thank you for having me on.
Hey, man, we will have to do it again in a lot less than like 6.5 years.
Let's do it. I'll always come on if you ask.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Mark Weber, thank you so much. You're here every week, man.
I know, I'm like clockwork.
Like you're angling for a second chair or something.
Hey, man, I come to work every day until they tell me not to.
and I'm Mike Irizarry, of course. Go down below. You'll see our social media. Catch us there. If you can support the show with a few extra dollars. God, there we are asking for money again.
That's
but
fine.
our coffee pages are down below if you want to pay for the Joe Colton swear jar. We've picked up another monthly subscriber this week, so thank you so much. You're doing your part to basically keep the lights on, because we couldn't do it without you. But till next week, for the What's on Joe Mine team, have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yo, Joe. We'll get there.